Hi, my name is Sherry Cavanaugh, and today I'm going to talk to you about run-on sentences and how to fix them. Before we start thinking about a run-on sentence, I'd like to remind you of what a sentence is. A sentence, of course, is something that has a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. Okay. A run-on is when you take two sentences, also known as independent clauses, and join them together in an improper manner. So we have two examples. I love writing essays. I would write essays all day long. And my favorite class is English. I would die if I could not take English. So if we look at the first example, I love writing essays. I would write essays all day long. What do we have? We have I love writing essays. Subject, verb, complete thought. Okay, now you might not believe somebody that said such a statement, but there's no doubt about the meaning, so it is a complete thought. I would write essays all day long. Well, once again, we might not believe that. I don't know if I would believe that if someone said that to me, but it's once again we have a subject, verb, and complete thought. Now we've had these two independent clauses, these two things that could be sentences, and we've put them together with no punctuation or no kind of means of coordination. So what do we have? We have actually a run-on. Okay, when you have two independent clauses jammed together, two things that could be sentences jammed together, it is a run-on. Okay. The next example is my favorite class is English, comma, I would die if I could not take English. Okay, so once again we have two independent clauses. My favorite class is English, that's understandable, has a subject and a verb. I would die if I could not take English, once again, subject, verb, complete thought. This time we've joined them together with a comma. Now commas are wonderful things and can do many things. One thing they cannot do is join two independent clauses. So now we have a run-on with a comma joining the two independent clauses is called a comma splice, but nevertheless it is a run-on. So we need to fix these. Okay, so we don't put them in our writing. Well, the first way to fix them is some ways the easiest. You take these two independent clauses, these two things that could be sentences, and you let them be sentences. English is my favorite class, period. I would die without it, period. So two sentences. We've taken something that was dressing up as a long sentence and made two shorter sentences, but both sentences has a subject, verb, complete thought, so they are okay. I love writing essays, period. I could write essays all day long. Wonderful. We've taken a run-on and made two sentences. That is fine. The next way, and the most popular way of joining two independent clauses, is a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Now, coordinating conjunction, that's the kind of phrase that an English teacher might use, but as students, we usually call them one of the fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay, so a comma plus one of the fanboys can be used to join two sentences together. I love writing essays, comma, so I could write essays all day long. English is my favorite class, comma, and I would die if I could not take English. Okay, so you take a comma and the appropriate coordinating conjunction or fanboy, and you put it in there, and you can join two independent clauses. We can also use a semicolon. Okay, a semicolon is a nice piece of punctuation. We don't usually use that often, but it works just as well as a comma and a coordinating conjunction in joining two independent clauses. I love writing essays, semicolon. I would write essays all day long. So we use the semicolon to join two independent clauses. Now, usually when you're joining two independent clauses together with a semicolon, there is a close relationship between the two ideas. So make sure you're aware of that. You can also use a semicolon followed by a conjunctive adverb or a transitional phrase followed by a comma. So in this example, my favorite class is English, semicolon, consequently, comma, I would die if I could not take English. Now the semicolon is really doing the work of joining the two independent clauses, but that consequently, that adverb there, is a nice rhetorical move, it's stylistically nice, so the writers included it and then followed by a comma. Either way, two sentences joined together with a semicolon. We can also make one of the clauses dependent. Okay, a dependent clause, as you may know, has to be connected in some manner to an independent clause. Okay, a dependent clause is something that cannot stand alone. So what I've done here is, since I love writing essays. Okay, now if I said that to you, I saw you in the hall, and you said, "Hey Jerry, how are you?" and we talked, and then I just said, "Since I love writing essays," and stopped, you would look at me very perplexed because it has no complete thought. The subordinating word there, since, takes the independence away from that clause. Okay, so we have a dependent clause, then we have an independent clause. I would write essays all day long. We're okay. And as you know, if the dependent clause comes first in the sentence, you follow it with a comma. So in the second example, once again, we made the first clause dependent. Because English is my favorite class, comma, I would die if I could not take it. Wonderful. We take one independent clause and make it dependent, and we are okay. Now here are a couple websites. To be honest, if you Google run-on and fragments, you will find a million sites. The Guide to Grammar and Writing is very nice. The University of North Carolina has a nice website that tells about run-ons with some exercises. And then St. Louis Community College has a pretty nice handout that covers this material. Feel free to go to these sites and look up the information. Okay. Thanks once again. My name is Jerry Kavanaugh. If you have any questions, there's my email, gkavanag@dtcc.edu. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. Have a great day.